Hey team, Will Cobb here, and I just finished repairing these two twin lens reflex cameras. I'm going to take them out for a spin and show you 5 of my favorite tools for fixing old cameras like this. I am here at Pirates Cove at a very late sunset because I just did a photo shoot with some of our clients. It's really pretty, a lot of interesting things to look at. I'm going to test these out because I've never shot with them before, and I'm going to test them out to make sure they're working as well. And I just need to shoot, so let's do it. It's really cool to run around with these old cameras, and I really liked the satisfaction of using them. It made me really think about how old they are and how fun the format is. They're really satisfying to look inside of. Anyways, let's get back to the house, develop these rolls, and I'll show you my 5 tools for cracking these things open. Well team, before we dive into my 5 favorite camera repair tools, I just want to say thanks for watching. If you love vintage cameras, if you love film photography, DIY, developing and scanning, you're in the right place to get all that juicy info right here. Thanks for joining me. All right, so I shot a couple rolls in them and I'm waiting to get a new face plate leather. I ordered that and from a shop on Etsy, and it's gonna be coming, but the photos are stunning and it's so cool to see these up and running again. Both of these had so many issues. This one had a knob that was bound up and jammed, and they were both firing at different speeds, and they both had shutter issues, and one of them wasn't cocking and some weird timing issues. On top of both their separate issues, they both needed some tender loving care, some cleaning up the lenses, and just a total overhauling. I've done a bit of camera repair before, but I wanted to see how to exactly to get into these TLRs. So I went to YouTube and did some research on opening them up, and I found some great videos about cleaning certain things, but it wasn't really fixing exactly what I wanted to do, but it was important to see how to open these up. Because it involved ripping off that front leather, which I wouldn't have known about without watching these videos. So shout out to those guys, and I'll link their videos down below if you want to dive into one of these cameras. Also, can we just agree that YouTube is amazing and you can learn anything here? I love making these educational videos. Also, shout out to Etsy stores. There's always someone out there making exactly what you need for the very specific reason you need it, like those leather face plates. I'll link that guy's store down below. He also, if you need to replace the leather on the entire thing, he can do that for you too. It's pretty awesome, especially if you've got a beat up old camera that you want to give some care to. I'm not going to dive into fixing these cameras specifically, though I will if you guys want that in the future. Write a comment if you want to see that, but more so I'm going to be talking about the tools I use for camera repair. If you want to dive into camera repair, I have 5 important tools that you're going to want to snag to do a good job. First thing up on my list is this awesome silicone mat with these little cups and divots and magnets for holding all your little screws. It has magnets here and here. It has this place for screws over here to keep track of an order. It has this place here that you can keep track of screw orientation. That is awesome. This silicone is nice and soft so you don't damage your vintage camera laying it down. And it came with these awesome little tweezers that are super fine. And the whole thing just ticks all my boxes. I can't recommend this mat enough. It is amazing. It comes in a few different sizes, and I went with the biggest one because I always need more space. And before I dive in, I must do a disclaimer that I am not sponsored by any of these products. I just really enjoy them. I use them. I specifically use them on all my camera repair. Some of the things are new for these specific cameras, but I will not live without them now that I have them. Anyways, I did lots of research. I love these products, and the links down below are affiliate links. By purchasing off those links, it supports my channel, and I really appreciate all of you guys who are out there supporting me. Maybe one day I can go full time with this, so if you guys support, the more support the better. Thank you so much. So the next thing on my list is pretty obvious, but it's a micro screwdriver set. My link down below is a little different than this one because this is a set I've had for a long time. It's something that you will need forever. It is something that you will always use in camera repair and things down the line. I used it on tons of house projects, screwing electrical, doing all sorts of micro things. It's just so handy, and you just need a set in general. So I linked one down below. It's not the same one as this one because, again, you will have this forever. Buy yourself a nice little set of screwdriver bits and bobs, and you'll be able to get around the camera really easily. Don't go too cheap on this. You can get these things at like Harbor Freight and stuff like that, but you really want one that's not going to break or damage your brass little screws that you can be working with. Okay, number 3 is something that we're diving into, something that's specific with these cameras, but you can use on a lot of other vintage cameras, and that is the spanner. Spanners are important for getting into anything circular on these old cameras. If you see a circle piece and you like, how the crap did they get that in there? It's usually got these 2 little notches on either side of the lens, and you place these on there and give it a little twist. This has a perfect rotation, so you don't have to like fiddle with trying to get it out. You're gonna be putting this near lenses, so it's pretty sharp and dangerous to be putting so close to lenses and easy to slip off. So you gotta be careful using these. So you really wanna put it there and spin, but not like jam down and stab your lens. Don't do that. But this thing is invaluable for getting in and cleaning lenses and anything circular. There is some spots on here that is circle pieces that you can only get it off with a spanner. You'll see that on a lot of these vintage cameras. All right, number 4 on the list is really kind of specifically for the TLR guys, and it's these rubber little rings here. This comes in a set of 6 of them of different sizes, and these are super great for grabbing the actual glass and giving it a twist when it's really difficult to reach in there and get the glass. You don't want to stick anything in there. The rubber works really well and doesn't leave any scratches. You got a bunch of different sets here to work with a bunch of different size lenses. I kind of thought these things were a joke, but when I used them on these cameras, I saw how grippy they were. It's like kind of like opening a can. So I am definitely gonna be using those on cleaning some Canon FD lenses pretty soon. So the last thing on my list is oil. So these cameras are old and they have metal parts. They need oil. So after a lot of research, I discovered that gun oil is actually the same oil that you need, and you need a very long tip, and it needs to be able to deliver in very small amounts. So this one, it's made for firearms, but it is perfect for getting in those little holes, getting on those little gears that are inside of these old film cameras. I got this one too, specifically because it was extra long, and you can fix the classic camera squeak that happens on the AE1. There's a little fix for that. If you want to know more about that fix, message me down in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video about it, but this was easily able to fix that, and it was able to fix both shutters on both these cameras. I put a little dab around the shutter gears. I moved it back and forth, let it get lubricated, and that's how those opened up, and now they both fire perfectly, as you can see in the photos. This stuff is like magic, and it's exactly what you need to use on your vintage cameras. You should definitely get this. This is the one. So bonus tip is actually a light that I have right here. I didn't even like think about talking about this. This little light, it's battery powered. It flexes around. So my mom visited me in California and she watched me working on drones and cameras and all this stuff. And she was like, you don't have enough light. And you know, when your mom comes in and says that to you, she was like, you can just buy a light off of Amazon. I was like, really? Like, I guess so. And then I got this. Has 3 different settings of light. The battery lasts a long time. Flexible, kind of put it wherever. This thing's awesome. And actually, I think I do need better lighting. When you're messing with all these little tiny screws, it's kind of an awesome little thing to have. You should just have it anyways. So bonus tip for you. So those are my 5 super important camera repair tools If there are some other tools that you use or that you would love to have or that I missed, leave it down in the comments. I want to see all those old cameras back on the streets again, shooting beautiful images. These things were made so well, and with a little work they can come back to life, because it's just mechanical and there's no electronics in most of these. Disclaimer, I am not a camera shop. Do not email me or message me to repair your cameras. I don't do this all the time. This was just for a friend. Thank you so much for being here with me. Hit that sub button to join me for more film camera videos, and comment down below if you want to chat with me about these topics. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.